Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello and welcome to this video, Rabbits video. We are doing Season 2, Episode 7, Lucy and the Cardinal. This is Part 3. And we're chugging through this series pretty well, pretty good. So, without further ado, let's get into this.
Few hours. We spoke about Violet's sister, Remedy. How they'd been working together with a group of players, and how most of that group had either given up on the game, moved away, or disappeared like Remedy.
Yeah, the ones that disappeared in the whole context of this universe, those would be the ones that would be kind of crazy. I also need to apologize. My sinuses are still in flux. It's just all kinds of crap coming up here the last couple of days. The only problem is the sinus pills knock me smooth out, so I've got to kind of deal with it and minimize where I can. So,
once again, Violet explained how she believed teaming up would be the most effective way to move forward. But I told her I was still unclear on what moving forward meant.
Yeah, sometimes you need to get that defined real well before you do it. It's just one of those things sometimes.
Were we trying to win the game? Were we trying to find the Traveler? What were we supposed to be doing?
The first thing we need to do is whatever we do.
What?
That is some nonsense. That is either some really, really vague nonsense or some really, really deep philosophy.
What the hell does that mean?
Playing the game, I mean really properly playing, is kind of like those path cards there.
How do you mean?
If you're working at playing the game, I mean really working, if you've encountered the phrase, the door is open, if you've seen the circle, then it's possible that no matter what you do, there's no wrong choice. As long as you make each choice confidently while remaining true to the spirit of the game.
That's an interesting wrinkle in the game. I had forgotten about that.
You'll have a chance of moving forward. Some people who have played the game at the highest level, believe the game itself will find you and guide you.
Which is kind of what happened in the first season.
That sounds kind of ambiguous.
Yeah, I know. But that's rabbits.
So the first thing we should do is whatever we decide to do?
Exactly.
Wow.
Basically, make a decision and live with it is the feels that I'm getting.
Oh, okay. So what do you think we should do?
I say we find the fucking Traveler and who knows? Maybe we even win the game.
Win the game, save the world. Our path card commercial.
Hello there. Do you sometimes find yourself stuck? Do you feel like you are occasionally just spinning your wheels? Would you like to find the answer to a difficult question?
Yeah, the more we go in this particular season of Rabbits, the more I want to find my copy of Philip K. Dick's Ubik and pull it down and reread it. This is just especially this season, is just really heavy. Got those Philip K. Dick vibes going.
Or are you simply just looking to find your true path, improve your life, and maybe enter a universe of unending adventure? If so, Path Cards might be for you. Visit us now at southelk.com for more information. South Elk, find your path.
Now I'm wondering if we're going to get the disclaimer. I love that disclaimer.
Path cards are connected to a deep and ancient power source. And if you use path cards, you understand that you are doing so entirely at your own risk.
Yep, the disclaimer.
South Elk will not be liable for any damages arising from the use of path cards. Good luck.
So basically, use them at your own risk, have fun, and if you blow yourself up, well, that's on you.
So that's it. It's simple. Find the traveler and win the game.
No, I don't know. May not be the simplest thing to do.
I told Violet I was impressed by her enthusiasm, but that I was going to have to think about it. She said she'd call me back in a day or two.
Which a day or two can be a long, long time.
Right now, it's time to go back to public television land to find out what happened with Gabriel Gomez and KBTC, Channel 28.
Yeah, this is kind of... I also like the disjointedness of this particular episode. You know, we started out with the whole thing on the TV thing, then we flipped back to the Violet interview, hanging out thing. Now we're flipping back. It kind of gives the whole world that we're in these layers.
Earlier in this episode, Gabriel told me that he and his friends had watched the same channel that other members of their class had watched, but that they'd experienced something completely different. While most of their classmates had watched KBTC and seen their assigned movie, The Day of the Triffids, Gabriel and his friend had watched the exact same channel and seen a science fiction-themed PBS pledge drive that included a movie called Lucy and the Cardinal.
Yeah, that could be like Mandela effect, TV, your TV kind of phased into another reality. And like I said, stuff like this, in my opinion, would make for some really good, really interesting movie scripts. Just the whole thing. You get a Dan O'Bannon quality writer paired up with a Ridley Scott capable director, and you could get a pretty awesome movie. I mean, look what Dan O'Bannon and Ridley Scott gave us in 1979 in the form of Alien. Come on.
Because so many members of his class had actually seen their assigned movie play on Channel 28 at the time Gabriel claimed he and his friends had been watching something else on the same channel, this seemed like a clear-cut case of Gabriel being confused about the channel they'd been watching, except for the fact that he'd recorded it.
Yeah, and in the VCR days, in the 80s, growing up in the VCR days, I mean, that's a VCR tape of something recorded off TV that was rare and out of the way was, kind of made you a celebrity within certain cliques within the school. I mean, that's how I got my first copy of Heavy Metal, recorded it off of HBO.
It took the company I'd hired 3 days to convert Gabriel's video cassette to digital. When they finished, they sent both of us a link to download a digitized version of the tape.
But did he get his tape back?
I watched the entire thing as soon as it finished downloading. It was 6 hours of exactly what Gabriel had described. A PBS pledge drive filled with tote bags, coffee mugs, and the rest of it. As a sci-fi fan, I found it pretty cool, but it was actually relatively standard stuff. The station's employees came on to talk about the pledge drive between a few episodes of a TV show. Something about a moon base from the 1970s.
Yeah, sounds like Space 1999, maybe. A kind of an allusion to it or inspiring a fictional type show.
And then again before they played their featured movies, Heavy Metal and something called Lucy and the Cardinal.
See, I have this thing because I've seen Heavy Metal. I grew up watching heavy metal. I've been watching heavy metal off and on since about 1982, 83 when it hit HBO. Yeah, it's... I just don't see a PBS station in this reality showing heavy metal.
I looked up the television show. It was called Space 1999.
Yep. That's kind of, see, it's old people, the brain still somewhat works sometimes.
A British-Italian co-production that ran for 2 seasons from 1975 to 1977. Space 1999 focused on the inhabitants of Moonbase Alpha, cast adrift through space on the Earth's moon.
Yeah, that was an interesting show. I've tried to watch it as an adult, and I just can't get back into it. When I was a little kid, it was like, yeah! But, I don't know. Maybe it's dated or something. Maybe there's something in my brain that doesn't deal with it as an adult.
Which had been knocked out of orbit. It stayed pretty close to the Star Trek formula. Really super close, actually. So, that's the TV show. The movie Heavy Metal was just as I remembered it. The animation was amazing, but the content was a bit out of date, to say the least.
Adult.
The second movie, however, was another story. The videotape was heavily damaged, and only about half of the movie was watchable. But what I did see was out of this world. Lucy and the Cardinal was a psychedelic animated trip, very similar to Heavy Metal in tone and style. But there was something very different about Lucy and the Cardinal. It didn't seem to exist.
That's interesting. Though it kind of sounds, from her description, kind of sounds like they based or came up with the idea for Lucy and the Cardinal based on the late 70s, or actually late 60s, early 70s Japanese anime, Belladonna of Sadness. Which, by the way, is a wonderful, interesting, and bizarre anime to check out. I might do a Gen X video on it. I don't know yet.
I mean, it existed. I had just watched half of it. But there was no record of it online, and the production and distribution companies listed in the end credits didn't appear anywhere, online or otherwise.
There we go. I have a sneaking suspicion, though I don't think it outright says any in any of the episodes, but I think that's kind of a maybe TV signals got caught in a Mandela shift, and boom, there it is.
The production crew and cast of voice actors were all unknowns except for one, a woman named Beatrice Lagerfeld. She'd played the mother on a really popular and extremely broad situation comedy from the late 1990s, and was the spokesperson for a famous fast food restaurant for a brief period of time a few years later. I called her agent, and he agreed to pass along my information to his client. A few days later, I received a call.
And I think this is where we're going to go ahead and call this video good. Hope everybody out there is having fun, enjoying life, enjoying these videos, enjoying all the videos, I hope. If you have any comments, feel free to put them down here in the description. Or not in the description, in the comments section. I put stuff in the description. But yeah, I'm just confused. Also, starting this weekend coming up, the 17th of August 2024, I plan on trying to do a long video on the weekends. Just do one video, but make it like 30 to 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, might push 50 minutes, I don't know. And do just one video on those days, and on the weekdays continue the 15 to 25 minute videos during the week. And hopefully I can keep doing the 4 videos a day. So until next time, everybody, be good to humans, be a good human. Peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?